Hello. The most important thing first, thank you to everyone who has watched the videos on my channel, and even more so who have subscribed. Thank you each and every one of you. My channel was very, very small, as you can imagine, and for some reason it's got quite popular. So no pressure on me then to maintain your interest, but seriously, thank you for subscribing, and thank you to everyone who watches the videos. Yesterday on Twitter I said that I believed there was a plot afoot in Westminster. I based this on the fact that the mini budget was undergoing several potential U-turns while Kwarteng was out the country. He was in DC at the IMF conference. If the Tory party is anything, they are predictable, and the fact that the Chancellor was out the country when they started to stick the knife in was clearly evidence of some kind of plot. What I was trying to determine was how deep is that plot, and I think today, with Kwarteng being sacked, we can get a little bit more of an idea of what's in store for us all. Let's address obviously the first thing that is quite obvious, that Jeremy Hunt has been appointed the new Chancellor. Who did Jeremy Hunt back during the leadership race? For those of you who don't know off the top of your heads, he backed Rishi Sunak. Now, I don't want to make any predictions. I don't like to make predictions because they normally turn out wrong, and I look a complete fool, and I've done too much of that in my life, and I'm a little bit old now and a little bit cynical, and I know that it's never wise to make predictions. So what I'm going to do is just tell you based on the evidence and the historical behaviour of the Conservative Party, especially when they're in government. Think back to Thatcher, think back to John Major, think back to as recent as Theresa May. The Tories government is finished. It's a question of when do they go, and the only way they can do that is to call a general election. The circumstances surrounding how that general election is called, I don't know. I don't think anybody can know, because the Tory party is not going to call a general election knowing full well they're going to lose it, and they will lose it. It doesn't matter when they call it, they're going to lose the general election, and Labour is going to get in. Keir Starmer will be the Prime Minister. I think we can all agree with that. I don't think there is a person who is still holding on to the idea that the Tory party can turn around the last 12 years and the mess we're currently in. Truss will go. There is a plot to get rid of her. Kwarteng stood in the way. He's gone. They can go straight for Truss now. In fact, the press are already saying, I'm not sure which publication it was, mentioned that she's got 17 days, and she was quoting, the journalist was quoting an unnamed 1922 committee member. The Mirror the other day said it was time for a regime change, and this was coming from, can't remember the source for that one, but regime change. Odd phrasing, don't you think? A regime change? Don't we normally refer to regime changes when it comes to rogue states and getting rid of the leaders? Cheers, by the way. The Bank of England have said that they will not buy no further bonds as from today. But secretly, and this is what annoys me, rumour in the city is that they will continue to pile money into bonds, buy up the bonds to shore up the pensions. So who do you believe? And let's just take a moment to consider what the Bank of England have been up to. The Bank of England is independent and non-partisan. However, and we do thank them for intervening and saving us from that mini budget and shoring up the pensions. However, I question whether they are leaving their political allegiances at the door when they go to work, or are they bringing them into the office? Something to bear in mind. I'm not saying that it's the case by any means, and I'm certainly not accusing them of doing it. I'm just saying bear in mind, Bank of England, Threadneedle Street, should be non-partisan. So what's going to happen? Truss has to go. I think it's always funny that someone from the 1922 committee this morning was saying that no, we stand by Truss, we stand by the Chancellor, we stand by the mini budget, and all those things are just U-turn apart from Truss. But she has to go. I'm not saying that. The Tory party is. So who to replace? Well, that's the other thing. I don't know that either, but I can tell you who's plotting. Penny Mordaunt is at the centre of this. Rishi Sunak is probably somewhere involved. It's just interesting, who really did appoint Jeremy Hunt? Because Liz Truss has just appointed Jeremy Hunt as Chancellor, who was a fierce backer of Rishi Sunak during the leadership race. Interesting, isn't it? When you weigh up what's happening, what's going on, but then you look behind the scenes and try to work out. Is the Tory party aligning themselves in the hope that they can pull Truss out and stick someone in that they thought should have gone in the first place, i.e. Rishi Sunak? Or is it going to be Penny Mordaunt in number 10, Rishi Sunak in number 11? I don't know. But it doesn't make any difference, because they can't address and resolve the past 12 years of Tory mismanagement. They can't do it. In what little time they've got left, they can't do it. This government is now so unpopular, and they know it, and they realise it. Ideally, we need a general election, because I'm sure the city looks upon Keir Starmer. They may think he's boring, they've said it before, dull as dishwater, but he's reliable. And let's not forget that Keir Starmer has shown how he can get things done. He's basically ejected all the Corbynistas from the party. So he has no counterbalance within his own party. Some may say that's a good thing, some may say it's a bad thing. But he's proven that when he needs to do it, he can do it. Some are saying that he is Tony Blair Part 2. Well, we will get to see it, because he will get into power. The Labour Party will get into power, because this Tory party is done. Stick a fork in it. There's no way they can come back from this, and they know it. So to recap, the plot started middle of the week. The obvious sign that it was starting was Kwarteng over in DC at the IMF conference. They took it at that point in time to start unravelling his mini budget, and the market reacted positively, I suppose. Kwarteng is sacked today. Jeremy Hunt is put in. Jeremy Hunt is a Rishi Sunak backer. Where do we go from here? Well, people are saying that Liz Truss is next. And I believe them. Why? Because Kwarteng had to go before they could get to Truss. He's gone. Jeremy Hunt is not going to stand in the way. Remember, he backed Rishi Sunak. He never backed Liz Truss because he had no confidence in her. And remember, Rishi Sunak was very vocal about criticising Truss's policies on taxation. The question is, who do the Tories think they can put in power now to possibly stand a chance at the next general election? Is it going to be Sunak in number 11, Mordaunt in number 10, or vice versa? I don't think Penny Mordaunt would want to be Chancellor, assuming she is involved. I'm only going off her appearance in the House the other day and what she was saying, and when she was quizzed by journalists about it. So your guess is as good as mine. However, I think that's where we stand. We're going to be living through some very, very interesting times, politically speaking. Obviously, things will get worse because it's still the same old Tory party in government. Although I do think that Truss has signalled she will U-turn on the cut to public services, which is good. What she's not done is review benefits to be in line with inflation, because inflation is rising, interest rates are rising. So I mean, it's all bloody mess, really. So there we have it, the absolute fucking state of the UK government. It is. It's just, what would you bet is going to happen next? I suppose if I was still a betting person, I would say the smart money is in Truss to go. She'll go before Christmas. Because time is of the essence now for government. They can't delay. And the negativity, wholesale negativity up and down this country towards them is evident. You know, Tory MPs know it. They know that this government is finished, and party is finished if they continue along the route that they are currently on. There is just no doubt about that. General election. Well, your guess is as good as mine. Vote of no confidence. Labour raise it. Managed to persuade a Tory majority to back them. That's Turkey's voting for Christmas, isn't it? 1922 committee, they've already said that they stand by Truss and Kwarteng, which I still think's hilarious. That's just, you know, 1922 committee. They say what the PM wants to hear, but secretly they're the ones, they're the vipers. They're the one with the largest and sharpest knives. Because they're there to protect the party, not the Prime Minister, or the Cabinet, or any MP. They're there to protect the party. And what a shit job they've done so far, haven't they? So a Labour government, when it happens, can't say. Will it happen? Oh yes, oh yes. Time for change. Alright, thank you for stopping by and watching the video. Have a really pleasant weekend. Thank you.